So guess what? Good thing I did a lot of prep work last night. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to bake a couple crab cakes, and while those bake, shouldn't take long, we are going to make a turkey sandwich. Very exciting. We might even make it into a turkey melt, but we'll see. So these will take probably, I don't know, we'll put them in the oven at 350 for, I don't know, 15 minutes, 12 minutes, and that should be pretty close to being them done. They should cook nicely. Oh, sorry, I forgot. So they should cook pretty nicely in that amount of time. What's up, Mr. Man? Turkey sandwich and crab cake should all be done at about the same time. Maybe we'll even reheat some beans or something. So let's not make it overcomplicated. Weeknight cooking, weeknight cheap cooking. The crab cakes were made from a can, so I guess those were kind of expensive, but I made like 8 of them, so it's okay. We're just gonna use the nonstick pan because, yeah, it's just easier. That's not true, but I'm being lazy. I need to melt some butter to brush onto the little crabby cakes or whatever. And this is what the people want to see. We're gonna bake these guys up. So this butter's already pretty much melted, what kind of makes it easy. Just melt a tablespoon or so. How long will the 8 last? Well, actually I only made 6, but they were big ones. I ate 2 last night. I'll eat 2 today, and then probably sometime this week I'll, see how they taste after being frozen. And they weren't the best crab cakes ever. They were decent. They enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I deep fried the ones last night, so I'm looking forward to comparing how the baked ones taste compared to the deep fried ones, and then I'll also compare them, baked after a day in the refrigerator versus baking from frozen. So. Yeah. We'll come back to that pan. We got enough butter for what I want right now. So let's kind of dip your paintbrush, your pastry brush, whatever you want to call it. And then just brush the outside. I'm going to make sure I get the bottom too. Kind of stagger them, kind of kitty corner. So just get some melted butter up onto that crab cake situation, all right? Yeah, good protein, filling. Crab cake's great for dinner, great for an appetizer, great for lunch. They don't take that long to cook. So let's go ahead, throw them in. I got my oven set for 400, but I know the oven's going to drop, 20, 30 degrees when I open it. And then I'll drop the heat down to 350, let them cook for, we're going to give it 15 minutes. That may be too long, but they are straight out of the refrigerator, so I think it'll be fine. And if I don't pull out in time, sometimes you get lucky. All right. 15 minutes, go. And let's turn the oven, Turn the oven, 350, bake, it's right there. Alright, now we gotta get to work on the sandwich making, alright? So, turkey sandwich, bacon crab cake. So, got this white bread here. Believe it or not, there's, according to the bag, 130 calories per slice, so take that in mind. It's kind of stale bread, so we're going to have to toast it. It'll be fine. Alright. So, we're going to build our sandwich, then we'll put mayo on the outside of the bread. Sometimes you do, unlucky. But as of now, I just have dogs, so life's still pretty good. Yeah. So let's go ahead, do that. Serving size, 1 tablespoon of mayo. That's 100 calories. Whoops. We're up to 230 right now. That's a tablespoon, yeah. Yeah, you don't want a dry sandwich here. All right. There we go. We're up to, what is that, 330 for our sandwich. Actually, I did that kind of out of order here, but that's okay. Got some avocado. Each one of these is probably like, whole avocado is 300 calories. We're going to use half, so that's 150. So that, let's see, 130, 260, 360 plus 150. We're up to 510 already calories on the sandwich, and that's before the turkey and the cheese. So you ain't saving too many calories eating turkey sandwich here. I gotta go yell at my dogs here in a second, but that's okay. Wieners! Calm! Maybe not. Maybe if they stop barking, I can get away. Good dog. Come here. You came when called. You get a treat for that. I'll pay the tax. I'm not a big fan of the turkey, so the dogs get a lot of snacks. Penny, come! Now you gotta save that sandwich knife, you know? Penny! Good girl. Usually when it's raining enough, this usually keeps barking at bay, but, you know, some kid on a bicycle drove by at, you know, hours of darkness. Needed to be barked at. Could have been a criminal, you know? Pay the tax. Actually, we're not going to use the whole avocado. Well, we are, because what else would I use it for? I'll make this sandwich pretty creamy though, alright? Slice of provolone, 80 calories right there, alright? Let's see. 3 ounces, it's sliced, so now I'm going to have to weigh it. That's not cool. 3 ounces, 90 calories. That's not bad. Is that right? Okay, so 3 1/3 in that amount of turkey. Sure, we'll put 1 slice over there, 2 slices there. Cheddar. Cut some cheese up here. 1 slice there. Actually, we're going to put 1 ounce of cheddar cheese on there, you know? Actually, I'm going to eat it. And pay the cheese tax. Wieners. That burner going, we got melted butter in there. like barbecue. Sorry. I like cheese too. It's good, and I like barbecue too. So we're gonna sneak that in right here. That's 35 calories right there. I don't know. I'm done counting calories on this sandwich. That would ruin it for me. But that's something you're into, you know. Just have an idea so you're not shocked when you're still fat and you think you're eating healthy because you're eating turkey. What's going on now, Pam? How you doing? Okay. Obviously we're using like a quarter of the avocado, so that's good. You got that right, Poppy. I got some lettuce. I'm gonna slice that up a little bit so when it inevitably falls apart, it doesn't tear the sandwich apart. And I want a little bit more mayo. Make sure it's not a dry, shitty sandwich. I already got butter melting on the pan, so you don't need to put mayo on the outside of the bread. So let's make sure that's up temp. We'll get there. It's non-stick, so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to take something and give it a little bit of a press down. I was hoping for something that I could get a better press, but that's going to be enough. Unhinged? Yeah, well, at least I'm not unhinged. You're right, I did not need to fry it to anoint, but I wanted to. And I think it'll be better this way. But when you're frying a sandwich, either put mayo on the outside, a thin layer of mayo on the outside of your bread, or some butter. Just personal preference, taste, ease of cooking, whatever. Let's use what you need. Press it down a little bit, it's going to flip easier and you won't lose as many of your toppings. What's up, Izzy? It's about a minute. Yeah, Kaden, I'm not sure you've ever seen one of those in your lives. Oh, well, welcome back, Queen Kelly. We're glad to have you. We got some time, you might as well clean up a little bit. Remember, you got your crab cakes in the oven. They'll be coming out in a couple minutes here. You can sneak a little peek at them. They're coming along nicely. I'm hoping for a good on-time pull-out. I think we're probably about ready to go in for a flip here. Ooh, man, be careful. You don't want to lose all of your toppings on a flip. Obviously that wasn't ready for a flip yet, but it'll be fine. We'll flip it again if we need to. Don't need to do that, but what you can do to make it cook faster or get everything to melt together, the cheese is inside, is just put a lid on it. And you know, because I flipped it prematurely here, we'll have to flip it again, but it'll be good. Yeah, sometimes you gotta switch up positions, CHS 8022. Yeah, I got a toaster oven. What you could definitely do, a toaster oven. It'll be fine. It will be fine. I got some leftover baked beans as well. So after we're done with the sandwich, I'll throw some Bush's barbecue baked beans in there. That'll be a beautiful side to go along with those baked crab cakes that we'll be pulling out here very shortly. Yeah, most of the time. If you're good at something, Chris, you don't do it for free. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good combo. You know, we'll see. And you're forgetting the turkey sandwich that's going to be about ready to be bomb. Not that turkey sandwiches usually are top of the line, but this one could be. Yeah. There we go. Now, that may have been a premature flip too, but at this point, I'm over it. Give it a minute and it'll be perfect. And whoever's talking about the lettuce being hot or whatever, it's in the middle, it's insulated, it's gonna be fine. Yeah, you know, I'll just put the dog up on the counter and the dog will clean it up until you know it. We'll be fine. Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably better to pull out prematurely than, you know, leave it in too long and get burned, you know? You can always put it back in, but once you leave it in too long, you're done. You know, there's much harder to recover in that scenarios. There we go. All right. So this sandwich is done, or will be by the time we pull our crab cakes out. Let's make room for them. I think they probably could be in there for another minute or so, but I'm not going to risk burning them. Had a good on-time pull-out, you know. Joseph, you know, apparently did not, you know. But yeah, that sandwich is done. That's what we want, you know. Refresh that. Go away, Gooner. Yeah. We like Jesus, but this ain't a Jesus channel. Sorry. Just broil them for 2 minutes. Okay, we can broil. Yeah, should be close enough to the stove that our broilers that works. But we're getting distracted. Let's go ahead, pull our sandwich out. Good on-time pull-out. Here's a sandwich. Put a lid on it, keep it warm. We'll cut it here in a little bit. And scrape out the lettuce. You don't want that burning. Clean it up later. It'll be fine. Got a spoon over here. I do. Leftover Bush's barbecue beans. Yeah, we don't need that much. I think that will be about perfect. Wherever said broil them for 2 minutes, we're gonna give them a. Yeah, I don't have a microwave, buddy. Not that there's anything wrong with having a microwave, but I do not have one. Be careful not to burn your beans or barbecue baked beans. It means there's a lot of sugar. Sugar likes to burn if it's the pan's too hot. So honestly, let's give a bean a taster. Leave that on low. We'll be done in a minute. With that being said, let's cut your sandwich out. We might get a good cheese pull on this one, actually. Kind of doubt it, but no cheese pull. Nope. But the sandwich looks pretty good, yeah. Alright. Was a miscellaneousness. Yeah, well, I don't feel like going all out every night. I just feel like making a good meal every night, you know? We try to cook a meal, about 7 out of 10. We aim for 7s. That's our goal. You're trying to cook a 10, 1. You're trying too hard. You ain't a Michelin star. 2. You want it to keep economical. You don't want to break the bank, you know, buying lobster and shit that you're just going to mess up because you cook it once every 10 years, you know. Well, lobster's pretty easy, you know, follow the directions. You know, steam it, call it a day. Baked beans are done. Go ahead, make sure the heat's off. Now let's make sure we have an on-time pull out here. Okay, lesson learned. That parchment paper will burn, but that's okay. Oh shit. God damn it. So those crab cakes kind of lost their shape a little bit. We're gonna let that sit for a minute. Did I get a tongue lashing? Well, I don't know. Maybe you're hoping for a tongue lashing, you know? What do I know? Probably should let them cool and settle on the tray, but here's what we got. Nice little baked crab cakes. So I am going to need a fork for this, but what we got, grilled cheese, turkey sandwich, whatever you want to call it. Reheated barbecue, Bush's barbecue baked beans, and some crab cakes I put together last night. So, We're going to grab a fork and we're going to see how they turned out here. I think Gordon would be fine with it, you know. One, Gordon's a good teacher. Two, you know, if you watch his stuff when he's home cooking, he just goes simple meals. He ain't making a beef Wellington every night. Where's the fork? This way, if your crab cakes dried out a little bit, you can dip them in the barbecued baked beans. Thank you, Queen Kelly. I much prefer gas over electric. But it's a rental house, so I ain't buying them a gas stove. No, thank you, Danny. There's some mayo in the sandwich. Yep. Not opposed to stealing a microwave from work. Not opposed. Not opposed. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a fan of tartar sauce, to be honest. But, you know, here we are. That's good. But if you're trying to do some presentation, put some fresh parsley flakes on top of the crab cakes, or some green onion actually would be delicious, so I'm going to do that. Oh yeah, well, if you make your own and you do it right, it's probably yeah, and you're just you want it to. Got it. Okay, since now you're saying my crab cakes look too cheap, we're gonna fix that in about 3 seconds. Put some green onion on top, or parsley. Yeah. Yeah, just like that, a little color goes a long way. No, it's not. Well, it's a dishwasher. If my smoke alarms chirp, I unplug them. I'm a good neighbor. I was in Pittsburgh. I live in Honolulu now. But, yeah, so you got white bread, you got mayo, you got turkey, sliced turkey, you got provolone, you got cheddar, you got lettuce, you got avocado, and barbecue sauce. That's what we got going on here. Yeah, ketchup's not a sauce, it's a condiment. I mean, there are parts of Pittsburgh that I missed, but I like being able to go tuna fishing here. Yep, and that's why I'm stuck here with an electric stove. You know, dinner time, but make sure to turn off your stove, otherwise it's going to heat up your kitchen, you know. Nah, job took me here, you know. The sandwich was falling apart, but it is amazingly delicious. No, you're dang. Yeah. So, first meal of the day, well, minus a small little lunch. So, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do for the New Year's. If I'm gonna try like that intermittent downtown corner of Fort Duquesne and Stanwick Street, actually. Uh, yep. Why didn't I think of frying my sandwiches? Now you can. But yeah, no, I'm thinking about trying that intermittent fasting thing in for a little bit, see how that goes, or some sort of diet for the new year. We'll see. Hmm. I don't know. I'd have to check the receipt. The pro move would be to use that company credit card and say it was for company potluck. Mm. Yeah. This is excellent. Now, this is going to be a little bit controversial, but I did the other night, or last night, put a little bit of hot sauce, and it actually went really well with the crab cakes, you know? Yep, Tan Moon Lemonade, you got it. Yeah, I'll take Florida. That's not an insult. Mm. Mm. Mixed opinions on this particular brand of crab. The crab cake recipe ain't that great. Sometimes there's still shell in the mixed crab. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, if cocktail sauce is your thing, be my guest. Well, I mean, it's not that it's addicting. I mean, the reason it's addicting is you're putting on a lot of food that doesn't have any acidity to it. So you put that little, most hot sauces, a lot of them are vinegar based. So you put that acidic vinegar flavor in it, it balances out the other food. So, you know, when you put it on scrambled eggs or whatever, you know, all of a sudden your food's balanced and it tastes delicious. The texture is moist. Yeah, probably dead inside, but I can tell from your face shot that I still ate less calories than you did today. Well, I probably would recommend not putting that on your food then, Gunzy. I mean, tell me I'm wrong, Queen Kelly. Tell me I'm wrong. It's possible, just making a kind-hearted observation, but I doubt it. I caught the implication. It ain't like I'm hiding here. I ain't a size 0, folks. I'm good. Thanks for asking, Daenerys. To each their own. I mean, everybody's got their favorite sauce, condiment. I would say condiments and sauces are very different, but definitely my favorite condiment barbecue sauce. That's usually my go-to. Hot sauce, I would not consider a condiment. Oh, the wiener tax has been already paid in full. I gotta keep turning the air conditioning on in the kitchen here more often. That oven's hot, it's still putting off a lot of heat. Yeah, yeah, pros and cons. Liar. Pittsburgh's cool. Pittsburgh's a cool city. If there was a city, an actual in the city that I would consider living in long term in the U.S., Pittsburgh would probably be the leading candidate right now. But I feel like pub sauce could vary widely from place to place. But yeah, that's the sandwich, though, alright? Yeah, get in line, browser nut. Turkey, provolone, avocado, cheddar, lettuce, barbecue sauce, mayo. Well, that's because I can't leave, and it's called Stockholm Syndrome. Winter is meant to be accessed via an airplane. So when you want to go skiing, what is the only good thing about winter is you get out on an airplane, you fly to the mountains, enjoy your skiing as long as you want to go, and then you fly back. Yeah, you definitely could leave the barbecue sauce out, but if you leave the barbecue sauce out, you're gonna have to either add tomatoes or vinegar or something acidic. Otherwise, the sandwich is gonna be out of balance. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but a really good book, really influenced how I cooked was like Fat, Salt, Acid, Heat. Just look it up. I highly recommend it. Yeah, good book. Mayo is not acidic though. Well, yeah, that's why I fly to the snow. If I had to list a hobby, adult hobby, I would say skiing's my favorite. Uh, haven't quite caught the surfing bug yet. Fishing's up there too, but skiing's still the clear number one. The problem is once you skied real mountains, you get spoiled, and you don't want to, ski little trash heaps here and there that were awesome beforehand. Now they're like, really? Yeah, that sounds good, Mr. Fox. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. We got some work travel that's right in the middle of ski season, so that's gonna make things pretty difficult for me. Uh, but probably we'll be redirecting that effort, money, whatever you want to call it, into fishing and Hawaii things. To be honest, turns out living in Hawaii is a little bit more expensive than living in Pittsburgh. Yeah, you from Pittsburgh, damage, or obviously you're from somewhere up north, but we didn't. Our school, like some of the schools further up north in Michigan, had it, or on the west side of the state and up north. Yeah, we'll see. If I get lucky, maybe I'll sneak a trip in. Otherwise, we'll have to see what the South Hemisphere has this summer for skiing. Who knows? Huh, interesting. Can you use your words, Swami? Cleveland. That's fair. I guess you guys get a lot of snow up in Cleveland, and you got some hills, so that checks. I imagine Cleveland and Pittsburgh have a lot of similarities, really. Although one would have to argue that Pittsburgh has better sports, you know? That's refreshing. Beautiful, moist crab cake. What's up, John Joe? How you doing? That's always fun. Oh, I believe it. You know. I don't know. I hear some places in northern Michigan are like that, and west side of the state, but the place I've been where we got the most snow, or the most snow I've ever seen in my life, was in Japan. They just got pounded up in those mountains because all the cold air comes across the Pacific, picks up all that moisture, and then just dumps it on the west coast of Japan up in the mountains and in Sapporo, you know. Yeah, well, don't eat a small lunch then, Tubi. And that bean juice. Yeah, oh yeah. But, you know, I ran today and I didn't eat much. So I'm hungry. Sue me. Hmm. Yeah. Obviously, we got to pay the wiener tax. That's going to get paid here. What's up, Dottie? Welcome back. Yeah, I mean, does Cleveland even have a hockey team, though? The Pirates are garbage. That's true. I mean, Pirates and Browns cancel out, you know? And you got all the pit sports as well. Yeah, and you probably got four Wade last weekend, Caden, but, you know, that's neither here nor there either. You know? Yeah. Ah. So, more or less, it was excellent. But anyone that was around knows it was a good meal. It was leftovers put together. Yeah, you can call it muck whatever you want, but it's still better than what you can do. So, suck it. But anyways, it was a nice, pleasant dinner, relaxing even. But talked a little bit about Pittsburgh and skiing, and life's good. Daenerys, always a pleasure. But we're gonna call it a night, and yeah, maybe see you tomorrow, maybe not. Thanks for joining. Bye. We have a good one. What hockey team? Let me know next time.